good, basketballers? It's NBA Jail, and I am back with another video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get to it. Why Paul George is having the greatest comeback of the 18-19 NBA season. Paul George is having a phenomenal basketball season, and it's been amazing to watch him come back better than ever before. Besides D Rose, I believe Paul George is having a career comeback season, and it's definitely one for the books. I want to do a recap of when he first came into the NBA to where we are currently, and I want to give you guys a good understanding of why I say he's having the greatest comeback season. Paul George was the 10th pick in the 2010 NBA draft out of Fresno State. He was in the same draft class as John Wall, Evan Turner, DeMarcus Cousins, Greg Monroe, and many others. During his rookie season, the Pacers went 37-45, earning them a first-round exit to the Bulls 4-1. They went up against the league MVP in Derrick Rose this year, so I don't think this is a surprise. George only averaged 7 points, so he didn't have much to do with how the season went or the playoffs. The 2011-12 season was kind of the coming out party for PG, especially in the playoffs. People started to recognize him and his team. They were young and fresh and finished the season 42-24. George averaged 12 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds on 44% field goal shooting. The Pacers lost in the second round 4-2 to the Heat as they went on to win their first championship as a Big Three this year. This didn't stop the young Pacers squad as they came back better than ever. Roy Hibbert, Lance Stevenson, George Hill, David West, PG and company, they were determined to make this year a great one. And the 12-13 season was when everybody began to notice PG as a star in the league, and this was only his third year. The Pacers finished 49-32, finishing 7 games better than last year. PG averaged 17 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists on 41% field goal shooting. This earned him his first All-Star selection, first All-NBA third team, first All-NBA defensive second team, and he won the award for the NBA's most improved player. The Pacers got to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to Miami in 7 games in a commendable performance by both parties. Paul George and the Pacers once again were not finished, and George is gonna have the most points he's ever scored in his career to this point. The Pacers finished 56-26, earning them another #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. George averaged 21 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds on 42% field goal shooting. PG got another All-Star selection, All-NBA defensive first team, and another All-NBA third team. The Pacers made it to the Eastern Conference Finals once again and lost to Miami once more 4-2. This was the ending of the Miami Pacers trilogy, and the Pacers would never make it this far in the playoffs again. August 1st, 2014. During the USA Basketball Showcase, Paul George was going up to block James Harden's shot and he snaps his ankle in half. It was the most gruesome injury I've ever witnessed up until the Gordon Hayward injury. The season hasn't even started yet and he had what looked to be a career-ending injury. This was most definitely a turning point in his career, and he was gonna go either one of 2 ways. George rehabbed and worked his butt off for the entire 14-15 season. The Pacers didn't make the playoffs, but PG did come back and play in 6 games and he averaged 8 points. When we first watched him get back into the court, we were all worried. Would he still be that explosive player we come to love, or would he just be a shell of himself? Unfortunately, 6 games was not enough of a sample size, which brings us to the 15-16 season. George had an exceptional season considering the injury he just came back from. He averaged 23 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds on 41% shooting. The Pacers finished 7th with the 45-37 record, earning them a first-round exit to the Raptors in a hard-fought 7-game series. In the 16-17 season, it was more of the same. The Pacers finished 7th in the East and bounced out the first round, getting swept by Cleveland. PG asked for a trade to the Lakers, which he didn't get, but he ended up in OKC with Westbrook and Melo. I will admit that I thought this Big Three would work. I thought they'd find a way to make it work. I knew they were all ball dominant, but I thought somehow it'll be worked out. They finished 4th in the West with a 48-34 record, but they were embarrassingly bounced out the first round by a rookie in Donovan Mitchell 4-2. I don't think it was so much people questioning PG. I think people were more focused on Russ being a stat pattern and Melo's game being outdated. OKC knew changes had to be made, so they pretty much booted Melo. So this 18-19 season, the Thunder didn't have the best start, but once they got it going, they never stopped. And this brings me to the point of the video. Paul George is playing out of his mind, averaging 28 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds on 45% field goal shooting. He's having so many 40-plus point games. He's even being considered for not only defensive player of the year, but a legit MVP candidate. In my previous video, I mentioned that Westbrook would never win a championship because he's not willing to defer to anyone, but I truly hope that I eat my words because he and PG are KD and Russ 2.0. They have the perfect defensive team that can switch on anyone, so let's see what they do in the playoffs. This is the greatest comeback season because he came from what looked like to be a career-ending injury, and he came back better than he left. Now with he and Russ as a 1-2 punch, I don't see anyone in the West standing in their way besides the Warriors. That's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Who do you guys believe is having the best comeback season? And who do you guys believe will win the MVP? I think it's between Harden, PG, and Giannis. I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.